Hello class, welcome back. Today we're going to review for our Unit 12 test. This is our 9th lesson of Unit 12. At this time, please take out your study guide. Please do not move on and check your answers until your study guide has been completed. You should not check your answers if you have not completed your study guide. For number 1, what is 45% of 60? Remember, is over of equals percent over 100. Set it up as a proportion and solve. X is equal to 27. Number 2, 18 is 12% of what number? Is over of equals percent over 100. You write out the proportion, you solve for X, and X is equal to 150. Number 3, what percent of 25 is 60? Again, is over of equals percent over 100. Set it up as a proportion. You solve for X, and X is equal to 240%. Number 4, Jessie's lunch cost $12.35. She left a tip that was 20% of the bill. How much was the tip? You're only calculating the tip, so 20% of $12.35 is $2.47. Number 5, Hunter thought he had 400 baseball cards, but he actually had 620. Calculate Hunter's percent error. Round your answer to the nearest percent. Here you have to find the difference of 400, 620 over his actual amount times 100. His percent error is 35%. Number 6. If 40% of the students in Mrs. Galucci's class like chocolate frosted donuts, then how many students are in Mrs. Galucci's class if 12 like chocolate frosted donuts? So here you set up your proportion. Is over of equals percent over 100. You calculate and solve for X, and X is equal to 30. Number 7. Target is selling video games for $21 instead of $35. What is the percentage of the discount? Here you can take the difference between 21 and 35 over the original, which is 35, multiply it by 100, and the percent of discount is 40%. Number 8. A store employee notices that soccer cleats that cost your store $20 are being sold for $48. What percentage is the markup? So here you can take the difference between 20 and 40 over the original here, which is 20, multiply by 100, and the percent markup is 140%. Problem number 9. Gas prices are projected to increase 35% by April 2015. A gallon of gas currently costs $3.34. What is the projected cost of a gallon of gas for April 2015? Round your answer to the nearest hundred. So we have to find 35% of $3.34, which is $1.17. Now that's how much the gas is going to increase, so you have to take this amount and add it to the cost of the gas currently. So the projected cost for April 2015 is $4.51. Number 10. A sweater is marked down 43% off the original price. The original price was $34.50. What is the sale price of the sweater before sales tax? Round your answer to the nearest hundred. So here you have to take 43% of $34.50, which is $14.84, and you have to subtract it from the original price, and so the sale price is $19.66. Number 11. A shirt is on sale for 20% off. The sale price is $15. What was the original price? What was the amount of discount? So for the original price, you take 15, that's the sale price, is 80%, equals X over 100, because if it was 20% off, then $15 is 80% of the total cost. So the original price was $18.75. Now it's asking for the amount of discount, so you have to subtract 15 from $18.75, and the amount of discount is $3.75. Number 12. At a certain store, 40 television sets were sold in April. The manager of the store wants to encourage the sales team to sell more TVs by giving all the sales team members a bonus if the number of TVs sold increased by 25% in May. How many TVs must the sales team sell in May to receive the bonus? So here you have to take 40 times 25%, which is 10. So they have to increase their sales by 10. So how many TVs must they sell? You go 40 plus 10, which equals 50 TVs. Number 13. An object has a mass of 35 grams. On Tim's balance, it weighs 34.85 grams. What is the percent error of his balance? Round your answer to the nearest tenth of a percent. Here you have to subtract 35 minus 34.85, which is 0.15 over what the original amount is, times 100, and so his percent error is 0.4%. Number 14, you deposit $5,000 in an account earning 7.5% simple interest. How long will it take for the balance of the account to be $6,500? So right here we're looking for how long, so we're talking about time. We know our principal. We deposit $5,000. We know our rate, 7.5%. So here we have to know our interest. To find out the interest earned on this, we have to subtract. We know that we want it to be $6,500, and we deposited $5,000. So you subtract the two, which is $1,500 in interest. So that is your interest is equal to 5,000 times 0.075 times t. You solve for t, and your answer is 4 years. Number 15, calculate the amount of simple interest on a $600 deposit at an interest rate of 7% for 18 months. Here you use interest equals PRT. Remember, for the rate, it has to be in decimal form, and for the time, it has to be in years, so 18 months has to be converted to 1.5 years. So interest is equal to 600 times 0.07 times 1.5. Your interest is $63. Number 16. After eating at a restaurant, Mr. Jackson's bill before tax is $44.50. The sales tax rate is 6%. Mr. Jackson decides to leave a 20% tip for the waiter based on the pre-taxed amount. How much is the tip Mr. Jackson leaves for the waiter? How much will the total bill be, including tax and tip? Round your answer to the nearest hundred. To calculate your tax, you have to take $44.50 times 6%, which gives you $2.67. For your tip, it says pre-taxed amount. So this right here on your paper is wrong. It says including tax, but this should be not including tax. So to calculate your tip, you have to go $44.50 times 0.2, which gives you a tip of $8.90. Now to calculate your total bill, you have to add the original bill plus your tax plus your tip. And so your total bill is $56.07. Now I'm going to give you a little hint. Tomorrow on your test, your tip will have to include your tax. So in order to get the question right tomorrow on your test, you have to add your original bill plus your tax and then calculate your tip. So that's what you have to do tomorrow on your test. But for today's study guide, because it says pre-taxed amount, your pre-taxed amount is where you just take $44.50 times 0.20. Number 17, a salesperson sets a goal to earn $1,500 in May. He receives a base salary of $300 per month, as well as a 20% commission for all sales that month. How much merchandise will he have to sell to meet his goal? So you set it up like a proportion. Now if he already receives $300 for his base salary, but he wants to earn $1,500 that month, you first have to subtract $300 from $1,500 and you place it here on top, because that is going to be the price that he has to make with his 20% commission. So the total cost of the merchandise that he has to sell would be $6,000. Number 18. Stephanie paid $7.83 for a pair of earrings. This amount includes a tax of 8%. What is the cost of the item before tax? So this amount is equal to the price of earrings plus tax, so 100 plus 8%, which would be 108%. So $7.83 is equal to 108%. What is the item before tax? That's what you're trying to find. So if you cross multiply and solve for x, the original price of the earrings is $7.25. Number 19. How many years will it take for $14,000 to earn $7,560 in interest at a simple interest rate of 6%? Here we're trying to find the year, so you use I equals PRT. Your interest right here is $7,560 is equal to $14,000 times 0.06 times T. You solve for T, and the answer is 9 years. Number 20. The regular price of a sweater is $37. It is on sale for $31.45. Find the percent of change to find what percent you will save on the sweater. Round to the nearest percent. So to find the percent of change, you have to subtract 37 minus 31.45, and the difference here is $5.55 over the original price times 100, which is a 15% change. Now please take a look at your gridded in responses and make sure that your gridded in responses does not contain any symbols. It could be left justified, right justified, or in the middle. It just cannot have any spaces in between, and you can't have any symbols. So please make sure you have filled in your gridded in responses, and also you should have your numbers at the top here. Just don't bubble in the numbers, but you have to also write in the numbers at the top. And now it's time for you to complete your corrections sheet. Please go back in your study guide and rework all of the problems that you missed. And make sure you are explaining what you did wrong so that you don't make the same mistakes on your test. Now remember, the best way to study for your test is to print off a new blank copy of the study guide and rework all of the problems tonight for homework. Remember, your study guide looks exactly like your test. The only thing that's different is I just changed the numbers around. So that's the best way for you to prepare for your test. This test is very difficult because it's a lot of the 7th grade concepts. So please take your time and study and prepare for the test tomorrow. Good luck, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon.